Hi guys, and welcome to my first Q&A. Oh my god, I haven't recorded a video that's like not a skit in so long that I don't know how to do this anymore. I'm like, who am I? Do you guys like my little backdrop? I've always wanted to go to Paris. One day I'll go to Paris. We can just pretend for now that we're there. But anyways, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get started in this Q&A. Yay! So I went to both my Facebook and my TikTok account, which I will put the links for those below. Make sure to follow me on both. And I asked you guys what questions you had for me. Well, let me pull up the questions and let's get started. How long does it take you to write and film videos, and do you write your own scripts? Okay. So first off, yes, I do write all my own scripts. Completely, that's all me, and I'm definitely kind of a control freak when it comes to my content. So I don't even like to get other people's opinions about that. I want to write my script and I want it to be what I want it to say. So yes, I write them all myself. Now, as for how long it takes to make my videos, if you put in total the scripting, the filming, the editing, and the uploading, on average, I'd say they take about 4 to 5 hours each. Like, it's a whole process. Okay, this next one is probably the question that most people asked, which I think is funny. Does anyone recognize themselves in your videos, and what do your clients say about your videos? So does anybody recognize themselves? No. And the reason why is because the people that I make videos about, they're usually walk-ins and I never see them again. As for what do my clients say about my videos, those are the only ones who have seen them, or some of my clients who follow me on social media. Or some of them just, they see me on their For You page and they're like, is this you? And I'm like, sure is. They just think it's funny. They kind of laugh along with it or whatever. And then the other portion is a lot of my characters are not just about one person, unless it's like a very specific storytelling I'm doing about a certain situation. Most of my characters are based on multiple things. So Timmy, for example, Timmy's probably one of my most popular characters, of course. Timmy is not one specific child. Timmy is based on every single child I have ever cut and then exaggerated. So yes, a lot of my characters are based on multiple people. Sometimes they're based on somebody I've never even met. Sometimes I just hear a story that another hairdresser told me and I get inspiration from that. So my characters are kind of just a jumble. Some are based on clients I've had, some are based on clients I made up, and some are based on clients that I've heard about through other hairdressers. So yeah. Does anybody help you with your videos, or is it just you? So the only person that really ever helps me is my mom, but it's very minimal. I don't really like having help, and like I said, I'm kind of a control freak when it comes to my content. So I really like to do as much by myself as possible. Where my mom will help me with is if I have to do a scene where I'm already using both hands and I need like something thrown at me, or I just need the camera held, something like that. So my mom, occasionally you will see my mom's hands, like if someone's slapping me or throwing something at me. Like, I'll put a few clips in here where my mom was the one that was either recording me or throwing the things at me. But 9 times out of 10, it's all me. How old are you? So, I am 29, but I am right on 30's doorstep. I will be 30 in 2 months. Ah! Like, I keep saying like, oh my god, here it comes, but honestly, I'm not too upset about turning 30. I mean, on one hand, it sucks to realize like my youth is only fading away at this point. Like, 30's still young, and my body's also not doing things that it used to, so that's hard, but whatever. So it is what it is. But yes, I will be 30 in 2 months. God help me. Favorite type of pizza? So I am pretty basic. I like pepperoni. And my favorite pizza place, unfortunately, is back home. It's not here in Florida, and that's Pizza Guys. Oh, I love Pizza Guys. The last time I went home, we got Pizza Guys, and I ate 5 slices in one sitting. And then I ate some more the next day. And then I ate some more later. I just love them so much. I grew up on them. Is there a right way or wrong way to wash your hair? Here's what I'll say about that. The most mistakes I see with people when it comes to shampoo and conditioner is they're either using the wrong product or they're not rinsing out the product enough. That is a big problem, not rinsing it out all the way. The only people that really have to worry about that, though, are the people that just have like a ton of hair, because they don't really realize, you know, that they're missing it back there. So if you don't have a ton of hair, you don't really have to worry about that as much. But if you have a ton, just make sure you go through and like get everything, because sometimes I will split the back of someone's hair and just see their product is still in there and stuff. So just make sure you're properly rinsing and all of that. But it's pretty basic. Just shampoo at the scalp, rinse, condition at the ends, rinse, you're good. Do you have a country you really want to travel to? Yes, I do. I would love to go to France. I would love to go to Italy. I would love to go to Australia. Is Australia a continent or a country? Japan, China, Egypt. I would love to go to Egypt. But if I had to pick like a top one, it's pretty up there. And that and Italy. I would love to go to both of those. Favorite type of ice cream? I love cookie dough. I love cookie dough. I also like cookies and cream, but cookie dough always edges it out just a little bit. What is your hair specialty? Cutting, color? Cutting. I don't like to say I'm a specialist in cutting. I don't know, it just seems like a big title to give myself, but I am definitely better at cutting than I am at anything else. Cutting's what I've done the most. I've done thousands of haircuts at this point. I can't even tell you how many. I've had days where I've done almost 30 haircuts in a day, so definitely haircutting. Favorite lipstick brand? So I only really use one lipstick brand because it's the only one that ever really stays on me, and that's Kylie Cosmetics. I do have a couple other lipsticks here and there, but for the most part, I just use Kylie Cosmetics. How long have you been doing hair? So I am coming up on 7 years. March will be 7 years since I graduated. If you count beauty school, it will be 9 years, which is crazy that I am almost to a decade. I don't know how time went that fast. Like on one hand, beauty school seems like it was forever ago, but on the other hand, I don't feel like I've been doing hair that long. So it's weird, but yes, almost 7 years. What was the final reason for your hysterectomy and how long did it take to get? Okay, so I got a hysterectomy for 2 reasons. I got it for PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I have a couple videos on that. I'll link those below. And then I also got it for endometriosis. Hysterectomies are not the cure for endometriosis though, I will say that. So I had an excision with my hysterectomy, which is what you're supposed to do for endometriosis, but I just needed things to come out. I was in a lot of pain, mentally, physically. It was just to the point where I could not move forward in life because I was so exhausted, so tired, so drained mentally, physically. I had tried every other treatment option that there was available. So this was all that was left. How long it took? In total, me trying to get hysterectomy took a couple years. But once I found my doctor that did the surgery, it probably took 4 months. Have you always wanted to be a hairstylist or did you have other choices? I never wanted to be a hairstylist. Like, it wasn't that I didn't want to be one, it was just not what I would have expected. So like if you went back in time to like even when I was just like 18, and if you would have been like, hey Sarah, you're gonna be a hairstylist, I would have been like, you're crazy. I literally woke up one day and was like, hey, maybe I should go to beauty school. Did I have other choices? No, I did not. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I bounced around at community college for a bit. I was really struggling trying to figure out like, what the heck do I want to do? And then beauty school kind of became the answer, and then 9 years later, here we are. What is your favorite hair color you have ever done? Okay, so I'm laughing because I will never do this hair color again because it took 11 hours. But my favorite hair color I ever did was on my mom. I will put a picture here. Like I said, 11 hours. Beautiful, loved it. It was basically me just experimenting. So I had this whole box of fashion colors and I never got to use any of them. And some of them were like colors that were really pretty that I wanted to see what they look like. So my mom became my canvas of me just using every single color that I had. I think in total I used about 15 colors on her. Like, I just wanted to see how some looked. So that was this result. It's one of my favorites, but like I said, never again. Too much work. Do you take video requests? Yes, I do. Actually, one of my most popular videos was a video idea that somebody else gave me, and that was my when lice comes into the salon video. Someone just commented like, hey, can you make a video about that? And I did, and then it blew up. So thanks to that person. But yes, I do take video requests. Just leave it in a comment, and if I see it, I'll try my best to do it. How do you deal with negative comments? Okay, I do struggle with this one sometimes. I used to try to defend myself, but now I just don't. People that want to hate you, you can't convince them otherwise to not hate you. Like, it is what it is. You know, nothing I say is going to change their opinion about me. One thing I've realized is people that say things to you online would never say it to your face. And a lot of times if you confront them, they change their tune. I have had times where somebody talked so much crap about me, and then I confronted them, and all of a sudden it was, oh, I didn't mean it like that. You just called me a bitch. What do you mean you didn't mean it like that? But one thing I also try to do is I try to just focus on the people that do enjoy my content versus that don't, because the nice comments I get outweigh the mean ones. So if I do see one that's bad and kind of upsetting me, I will try to go read the nicer ones. And I think it makes more sense to give more energy to the people who like my content than the people who don't. Because like I said, I cannot change their mind. They're just here to be miserable. And at the end of the day, all comments help the algorithm, and give me more money. So, so go ahead and talk crap. You're helping me pay my bills. Honestly. Do you have any pets? So, I did. And don't cry. I recently had to put her down. Oh my god, I didn't think I'd cry because I've been okay not crying about it lately, but here we are. Yeah, I had a cat. I had her since she was a baby. And I had her since I was 15. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since we put her down. She had cancer and all of that. So I don't know if I say yes or no to that question. I eventually will get other cats, but I'm just not ready. I'm still getting used to her absence. I'm not ready for a cat with a different personality yet, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not ready to have a cat if it's not her. So I'm gonna wait for a while. But I do get sad when I see cats that are like in need of a home, so eventually I'll get one. But yeah, for now, here's a picture of her. She's very pretty. Okay, let's move on or else I'm gonna need to call my therapist. What is it like being a hairstylist? Is it hard? Yes, it is. I tell this to people all the time, I thought hair was gonna be much more glamorous than it really is, and it's not that glamorous. It has glamorous moments, but it is hard. It's very hard on the body, first of all. We always end up going to chiropractors, massage therapists, getting carpal tunnel surgery, all of that. Like, it's very physically demanding. On top of that, it is emotionally demanding as well, because like some days you're just not in the mood to talk to people, and hairdressing is a very like, you're with someone at least a minimum of like 20 minutes, and then what if they bring up a topic you don't want to talk about, yada yada yada, or if they're just being difficult. Like, can be very emotionally and physically difficult. I think another thing people don't realize about it is we have to recognize like certain things. If I give Sally a haircut and I do the same haircut on Anna, they're not going to be the same. And I have to take into consideration that Sally has a cowlick, but I already forgot the name I gave this one, Anna. Anna doesn't, and Anna has thicker hair. So like, you have to be able to know those differences and how to figure out those differences from them just by looking at their hair. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and that's why they think hair is easy, is they think it's the same thing on everybody, but it's not. Like, you can do the same exact thing on 2 people and one of them looks perfect and the other looks crazy. So yes, it is hard. All right, we're at the last question now. What made you move to Florida? So I lived in Oregon before I moved here, and I got tired of the weather out there. I Googled where does it never snow, and I was either gonna move back to California, which is where I'm originally from, or I was gonna do Florida. And there were 2 things that made me pick Florida over California. The first one was changing my hair license was significantly easier to change it to Florida than it was to California. It would have been so much work to change my hair license to California. I would have had to retake the test, all of that. Like, it was just a huge pain, whereas Florida was just like, pay us money. So the other reason was because I'd lived on the West Coast my whole life, and I always knew growing up that I kind of wanted to live in a couple different places before I settled down. So I was like, you know what, I've been on the West Coast my entire life, and I had just come out here for a vacation a couple months beforehand, and I was like, why don't I go to Florida? Like, I love that there's so much to do. I love that the beach you can go to year-round. I love the theme park, because even though I lived in California, I was not really close to Disneyland, so I liked that everything here is just so much, you know, compact. And I do love it here. People always ask me if I'm gonna move, which I don't know, you know, who knows, but I do like it here. So yeah, I mostly moved because there's so much to do and the weather. I did not want cold weather anymore. All right, well, those are all the questions. Thank you guys so much for submitting them. My brain was a little all over the place during this, so I'm sure I'm gonna edit this and regret everything. But I've been wanting to record this for a while, so here we are. All right, I'll see you guys later.